Hello, this is Patrick Botticelli with Colonial Airstream in Lakewood, New Jersey. Hope you're getting ready for the 2015 camping season. And today I wanted to show you the all-new 2015 Airstream Sport 16J. That's the floor plan Bambi. Bambi because it's a one-axle trailer. Let's take a look at the 16-foot Bambi Sport that I have here. It's actually 16 foot 4 inches, and that's from the center of the ball to the very, very back of the trailer. It's just under 9.5 foot tall. It's 8 foot wide. Has a dry weight just over 2,800 pounds. Net cargo capacity of approximately 640 pounds. And a gross vehicle weight rating of 3,500 pounds. They've been making the 16J floor plan since 2004. In 2004, we started with the 16J International CCD Bambi. And over the years, it's evolved into many different models. And today, Airstream builds just one, and that is the Bambi Sport. The Sport is our lightweight Airstream travel trailer, very affordable. Msrp on this one as equipped is $44,532. It has the optional microwave, which is $467. The golden ultra leather upgrade, which is $608, to bring you a grand total of MSRP at $44,532. This is the same quality trailer as, say, a Flying Cloud or International Signature or International Serenity. They build the shell almost identical, but there are some characteristics that are different in regards to features. Feature level might have a few less features than one of the more expensive models. But we still have the aluminum frame, screen door, TIG welds, little handle. You can release the screen from the main door, swing it around, locks in place. This fills up the gap. There's heavy duty stainless steel hinges, 6 rivets on each hinge, and this is an extruded aluminum structure for the door frame. Cast aluminum heavy duty hinges for the entry door. TIG welded on the bottom, grip tape across the bottom. It's a very, very heavy duty structure. There's an entry door grab handle. And these are all buck rivet. So they're very strong. It requires 2 people at the factory to fasten a rivet, one on the inside and one on the outside of the trailer. And then there's an extruded aluminum gutter rail over the entry door. The entry door is a work of art in itself. Heavy duty gasket, aluminum interior panel, riveted in place. Just a very insulated and thick entry door with a heavy duty lock mechanism. When you open the door, it snaps into a catch so the wind doesn't blow the door in and out. And you have that signature bank vault shut. Wow. Incredible. Won't hear that sound on some other brand RV. But there's many, many man hours just in this entry door alone. So you can imagine what else they do to the rest of the trailer. High quality hair. Windows on the side and rear, and a handcrafted panoramic window from Airstream on the front. There's an outside utility shower, which you'd use your 751 key to open. And what they do on the 16J Bambi Sport is you can reach the faucet from here, and the wand, which is hanging up right now, you can lay it here, you can pull it through, you have hot and cold water, and you could hose items off right outside. using your main shower. Very genius idea. On a small trailer, it wouldn't be practical to cut another hole in the side and put another fixture in another area of the trailer. So Airstream's utilizing what they already currently have inside to pass through for outside. This has the ST215 75R 14 Load Range C Goodyear Marathon tires. These are 14-inch rims. Make sure you check your lug nut torque periodically. It's good after the first 10, 25, and 50 miles of your trip to check the torque. You also have to repack your wheel bearings every 3,000 to 5,000 miles, or at least once a year. The Alcoa aluminum body, it's a good idea to wash it with regular car wash. You're not going to use RV wash on an Airstream trailer. You'd use RV wash on a fiberglass motorhome to strip the black streaks out of the fiberglass, but not on an Airstream travel trailer. There's a wax that's recommended at least once a year. It's called Wulvernize. You'd apply it to the exterior of the trailer, wipe it off. It protects your finish. LED running lights. There's an outside electrical outlet underneath the awning, so you could hook up Christmas lights or plug in a television outside. That outlet will work when you're plugged into electric at a campground, or if you plug the trailer into a generator. And there's stabilizer jacks all four corners of the trailer. There's a tool that's included that slips on to the end of the jack, and you could crank the jack up and down by hand. Now that is designed to take the bounce out of the walk, right? Trailer's moving a little bit. You could crank down the jacks. That will take that bounce out of your walk. It's not meant for leveling. You can level the trailer front to back using your manual hitch jack and leveling blocks under the tires. This is an extruded aluminum belt line protection that seals the center seam of the travel trailer. This corner panel was one straight sheet of aluminum at one point, and Airstream stretch formed it to the curved shell design and then buck riveted it all together and sealed it. LED taillights with a plastic chrome trim ring. Tinted safety glass windows as emergency exit. This window opens for ventilation, has a screen inside. Aluminum Bambi medallion. License plate bracket with light. Lockable rear storage hatch. Push, pull up, twist, pull up, twist. It opens. This is insulated. It's also weather sealed. We know it's lockable. Has a cable to keep it in the down position so it doesn't fall down too far. You have diamond plating inside. A light off to the side, which is LED. And Airstream includes the plastic bins with the trailer so you can organize your items. You could also pass through to the inside of the trailer. There's two hatches that open. They are removable if you wanted to put a longer item through and wanted it to stay open. They are quick release hinges. Also, you could see the edge grain of the plywood and laminate. So it's not particle board, it's not a vinyl sticker. All cut out on the CNC machine at Airstream. And they used pocket hole screws to fasten, which are very, very secure. More secure than staples and glue alone. There's roof clearance lights up top. 11,000 B2 air conditioning as well. 30-foot, 30-amp power cord. I'm using an adapter so I can adapt it to a regular electrical outlet. I just know that if I'm using that adapter, I'm not going to be able to run the rooftop air conditioning, but I could do everything else in the trailer. Power connection also has an LED light that illuminates to let you know you have power coming in. There's a trim ring, which you could screw on. It gives you a weather-tight seal. Below that, we have a cable inlet. And we also have the dump station area. There's one waste tank on a 16J Bambi Sport, and that tank is 21 gallons for waste. What you do is you snap on your waste hose, pull the discharge, waste will come out of the tube. When it's done, you can leave the handle open and you could hook up to the black tank flush. This is a regular garden hose fitting. After you empty the tank, hook the regular garden hose up to this fitting, turn the hose on, let it flush out all the residual waste out of the tank. And when it's done, when you're done, shut the water off, shut the waste gate, put the cap back on, and it will keep your trailer from smelling like tank odors when it's in storage. Good practice, every time you're done camping, you're going to put the trailer back in storage to flush the tank out. We have an Atwood furnace on board. This is the discharge. This allows combustible air in. We have a 6-gallon Atwood water heater. It's propane gas for fuel, electronic spark ignition, aluminum tank. This is where the drain plug goes. You turn the switch on inside the trailer. Gas flows through this tube. The valve opens, allows to mix with combustible air, ignites, excess heat and exhaust come out the top, and you also have a pressure relief valve. If the pressure in the tank got too high, it would protect it from exploding. Don't store things in this compartment. A lot of people hide keys in there. I wouldn't recommend it. It's not safe. Another window, the bottom part opens for ventilation. There's a screen. The top is a tinted safety glass throughout. We have a city water connection. When you hook up to water at a campground, now you're running off of their water and their water pressure. This also has a water pressure regulator built into it, which protects your trailer from high pressures at the campground. In an unexpected event where there's a spike, you don't have to worry about bursting the plumbing inside your trailer. This does not fill your freshwater tank. It just supplies water to your faucets on demand. We have a refrigerator ventilation system. Allows fresh air in, excess heat and exhaust out. There's also a fan behind there that will come on thermostatically. We have the VIN plate with tire information. It's recommending 50 PSI for inflation, so please check that before you leave for your trip. There's also, underneath the trailer, we have a waste hose storage tube. Might be hard to see because it is a little dark in here today. Take the cap off, slide your waste hose in the tube. Keeps it separate from the rest of your items in the trailer. We have a 23-gallon lockable freshwater tank. Freshwater tank is located underneath the Dinette booth. Open the cap, stick the hose in. I would turn the hose on low. Use your white drinking hose that Colonial will provide you. When the tank's full, it will relief out of this valve here. And then inside the trailer under the Dinette, there is a drain valve to drain the tank down when you're done. There's a 3M film on the front of the trailer that protects the clear coat from rocks and sand that kicks up when you're towing. You can see the solar stone guard that protects the safety glass window behind. There's also a solar stone guard over the front window with 2 rubber tethers that you just pull and you lift lock it in place. And that acts as an awning when you're parked at the campground. Also allows you to open the window from behind. Take a Phillips head screwdriver. We used to use a flathead a couple years ago, so it might be different. Turn a quarter turn. This will pop out. It will hinge. And then it's got a slip hinge here that you can lift it off so you can clean the glass behind. Also remove it if you're going to be parked somewhere for a while and you want it to be more clear. I do not recommend towing with them off. If you shatter the curved safety glass window, it could get very costly to replace. Two 20-pound propane cylinders. This is the same size that you'd use for a barbecue grill, so they are exchangeable. Therefore, it helps you don't have to find a place to fill the tanks. You could just exchange them at a gas station. This wing net screws up this rod that removes the bottle cover, and there's another one underneath it that removes this clamp so you can get the bottles out to get them filled. And there is a regulator. You can switch from left to right bottle, and if you want to, you can only run off of one bottle at a time. If you have both bottles on and one becomes empty, it will switch internally automatically to the bottle next to it. It's a manual hitch jack. Airstream includes a jockey wheel, but Colonial feels it's very important to have a solid foot as well, so when you're parked, the trailer is not a threat of rolling in any which way. 11,000 pound safety chains, 2 5/16 inch ball. The coupler slides forward and lifts to unlock the trailer off the vehicle. And Colonial Airstream gives you a hitch lock, coupler lock, so no one can lift this up and steal your trailer. Trailer breakaway cable. This pulls out and will activate the brakes on the trailer. If the trailer was ever to become detached from the tow vehicle, it will slow the trailer down. Never use that as a parking brake. It will burn out the brake system, and if the battery was to die, the brakes would then release and the trailer would roll anyway. Up front, there's a propane port. This is for low pressure. It's about 11 psi for a small barbecue grill. They give you a hose, which is approximately 3 foot, to hook into this, and you turn the gas valve on when you're ready to use. This is a black box frame. This is not a C-channel frame. It's a very rigid frame structure. There's a spare tire on a bracket. You pull this pin out here, slide this one across, lift the arm down, and then crank the jack up to give you access to the tire, which is laying in the carrier. It's not bolted in place. And the whole underbelly is insulated and wrapped up in aluminum, just like the sides, so the floor is not exposed to the elements. It's a plywood floor, but it also has a marine anti-wicking substance painted to the perimeter underneath this vinyl flooring. They painted around, so if you were to leave the door open and rain hit this area and it rolled below the floor, it's not going to wick it through the whole entire trailer. There's also an entry step and an LED step light. Airstream passed the certified green compliance, and they got the gold rating. This is a sport medallion. And Thor is the parent company of Airstream since 1981. So Thor does not make Airstream. Thor is the parent company of the manufacturer. I'm going to bring out the awning now. It's always recommended before you bring out the awning to close the entry door. Also check the weather, make sure an unexpected storm is not coming through the area. You're going to use the awning tool On a Bambi Sport, it just slips into the lock here. Turn it, that unlocks it. And then you just pull on the strap in the middle. And this is spring loaded, so you don't want this to slip out and the awning come crashing up in the trailer. Once you get it in hand's reach, drop the stick, pull the awning down all the way. Now I'm holding it down. If I let go, it's going up. Now we can access the rafter arm. And what we're going to do is grab that, and it snaps on right to the end of the roller wheel. And there's a spring inside here, so this slides in and out, and then there's a pin that locks in place. Because if I just put this here, the awning still wants to go up. So what we have to do is add tension into this rafter arm. So I'm going to pull down on it, and I'm going to collapse this into this. And by doing that, this pin now locked into the little grooves here and locked the awning from rolling up inside. I see a lot of pictures on air forums and customers' blogs where people put the rafter arm here. Now it looks like it would be a good spot for it, but it will damage this arm over time with excess pressure. It's not recommended at all to put it here. It has to go right on the end of the roller wheel. So we're going to do the same on this side. Lock it in place. Now we could roll this all up nice and neat and stick it into this pouch here. And then we're going to release this pin here and lift the awning up to our desired height. On a 16J Bambi Sport, you can't go all the way up on one side and then do the other side. You got to walk it up. It's such a short trailer, you'll bind it. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 holes. Remember to rhyme 4 by the door. So if you wanted to tilt the awning, you can't tilt it on this side because the door is here and the door will rub the awning. This side has to be on 4 in order for it to work properly. Also too, this is a square tube inside of a square tube. So if you pull on this and twist it, you'll bind the 2 tubes and make it very difficult to lift up. So just keep in mind, keep this straight. Otherwise, you'll have a struggle lifting the awning up. But it is a beautiful awning. It's an outdoor weather material, very durable, synthetic. Airstream uses Sunbrella on the Flying Cloud, International Signature, International Serenity, the Eddie Bauer, and the Classic Limit, as well as the Land Yacht. This awning material costs just a little bit less. It's not brand name, but they use it exclusively on the Bambi Sport model line. Okay, inside the trailer, very bright. Look at that panoramic view. Can you imagine going to a beautiful campsite and being able to sit here at the dinette and have a view all the way around every morning? Oh, unbelievable. There's 3 light switches here. You have your main ceiling lights. There's also an outside patio light, which we saw, which is a step light, and the bathroom light, all in this switch box here. We have curtains that are on aluminum rail. They're 3-piece. You could unsnap them from the wall. And they're double lined. There's an inside and outside lining. 2 speakers for the stereo up front here. Timbre door cabinets. When you go up all the way, it locks into a groove. To release, you push in, and that will release the door. There's 2 USB charge ports here. There's also a USB on the front of the stereo and also an auxiliary input. And this is a Sony AM/FM CD and DVD video player. It's also Sirius XM ready. It is detachable face, so you can pop the face off and store it when the trailer is not in use. This side we have some storage. The dinette has an aluminum edge banding to it. There's a remote control for the stereo, separate remote control for the rear bedroom TV. There's an electrical outlet underneath the dinette, as well as a cable. Large drawer, wooden box drawer for storage. Here's the golden ultra leather. Look at the stitching done here. Compare that to some other brand RVs and you'll see the quality in Airstream. Also the foam is very high-end foam they use inside. The cushions also has a cotton backing to it on the top to make it a little bit softer. There's incandescent lighting in this trailer. You can turn one element off or both. And then there's a screen for the center window, and the hardware is off the side. You could unlock the window, twist, unlock, twist, and I'm not going to lift it today, but you can lift up the window 3 different heights, snaps into 3 different grooves. It's an awning style window. Everybody loves the windows in the Airstream travel trailers because they're so large and they give you a lot of ventilation. These Decor Pillows also come with the Bambi Sport. There's a propane leak detector which senses for any propane in the air. Propane hangs low towards the floor, so that's why this is down low. And there's a battery kill switch here which allows you to turn on and off the batteries. Right now we're plugged in, so all the lights are working. But say if we weren't plugged in and I accidentally left an item on, I could hit the kill switch here and it shuts the battery off, protect the battery from draining. 3 cubic foot Dometic automatic 2-way refrigerator. You just push up here, releases the door. There's some shelves. This allows some tension on the items you're putting in. This shelf could come out if you need. There's a drip pan which is plumbed outside. A refrigerator compartment above. You can turn it on from here. It's going to check to see if you're plugged into electricity. If not, it will ignite on propane. And if it misfired on propane, the check light will come back on and stay on to let you know that the refrigerator is not on. So also you can manually override it and just run it on gas if you wish. And when you turn the refrigerator on, it takes anywhere from 5 to 8 hours to cool down to the proper temperature. So I always recommend turning it on the day before you go on your trip. Get it nice and cold, put your items in, then shut the refrigerator off, shut your propane off before you start towing. And you have almost a full day's of driving before the temperature inside this refrigerator gets to a dangerous level. They design it specifically so you don't need it on when you're driving. So 2-burner cooktop, high output, low output. Pick which burner you want on, hold it in, and hit the ignite. On either side you could do that. Don't cook on top. Always lift the lid up, put the pan here, and this becomes a backsplash for any grease that might come off. For ventilation, there is a manual roof vent up top. It's a fantastic fan. Manually lift the lid. Pick your speed, 1, 2, or 3. And it has a quick release screen so you can clean the blades periodically. Also clean the screen. And there's a fuse here, a 4-amp fuse to protect the motor. Just in case something got stuck in there, the fuse will blow before the motor blows. There's also a TV antenna on the roof. Crank it up, Once you feel it stop, resistance, you could pull the collar down now and twist it around to get better reception. In order for this to work, you do have to turn on the antenna booster in the bedroom, right there. And don't leave that on when you're not using the antenna, because it will drain the battery and it will distort your cable if you're plugged into cable at a campground and that is on. You'll have all squiggly lines going through the television. When you're done, after you spun this around, you have to line the 2 arrows up before you crank it down, so that way it parks in its proper position. If you didn't line these up, you possibly could crash into this lid. It could hang off the side over the awning. So make sure you line the 2 arrows up here. There's a smoke detector with a 9-volt battery inside. We have a sink cover you could use as a cutting board. This is a polished stainless steel sink. Very thick gauge. This is a high quality metal Moen Faucet. This is the same thing you could buy at the home center. Not something that's specific for RVs, so that means you can get parts for it, and its duty cycle is much greater than a plastic RV style faucet. There's an electrical outlet in the galley area. You have aluminum blinds. You can unclip the blinds and lift them up, and then you could open the window from behind. Storage above. This is the microwave outlet. This is a generous sized microwave with a turntable, 800 watts. Has some presets and it's a GE, very nice brand. Water heater controls from here. Turn the water heater on. Red light will come on. When it tries to ignite, red light will shut off. If it misfires, which it will because I don't have propane on, nor do I have water in the water heater, the red light will come on to let you know it could not ignite. You could check your battery voltage, your freshwater tank percentage, gray waste, which is combined on this trailer with the black, and a 21-gallon tank. So this says open. It means it's not hooked up because they're using the black probe here. So that's the gray and black tank combined for shower, sink, and toilet waste on this trailer. So we don't use this button on a 16J Bambi Sport. Water pump is located underneath the dinette as well as your freshwater tank. When you have water on board, when you're not hooked up to CDI campground, you can turn the pump on. It will pressurize the plumbing system. Then every time you turn on a faucet, it will sense a drop in pressure and turn the pump back on to give you water flow. There's a privacy shade on a track. It's an accordion door. So what you could do is when you exit the bathroom, you could get dressed back here without having to close the panoramic windows, blinds. So then you do have access when this is closed to get to your wardrobe, to take your clothes out. There's also light inside the wardrobe. And there's even an access panel to get to the water heater for winterization and the bypass valve. We would explain that in the formal orientation or dealership after the purchase is made. We go through those procedures with you. Heavy duty premium hinges, which are adjustable and detachable. And the wardrobe rod has a plastic tubing on it, prevents your hangers from sliding back and forth when you're driving. Air conditioning has controls for fan speed as well as temperature, and you could control the airflow out of the side vents, and there's filter here that you'll clean periodically when they get clogged with lint. For a small trailer, this is very spacious inside. I could imagine a couple people being here on a rainy day and still being very comfortable. On a cold day, this has heated tanks and the underbelly is enclosed, so it gives you about a 10-degree threshold when it gets below freezing to prevent your tanks from freezing. You'd use your forced hot air propane furnace to heat the room, but then there's also ductwork that goes down into your tank chamber, circulates air around that tank to prevent it from freezing. By no means is this a 4-season trailer, but you can survive in an unexpected temperature drop. Code hooks here, dry erase board with marker, little magnets here. You can tape some pictures to these magnets and put them throughout. Rubber bumper over the entry door, so on exit, if you do not duck, you're not going to skin the top of your head. Vinyl flooring, and then they have an extruded aluminum ramp here, so if you're sweeping the trailer out, nothing gets caught up on this lip. Fire extinguisher. Bathroom door, just slide this to the back. That unlocks it. There's a lock inside, so if you're inside and you don't want someone to unlock it, you can do so. You hang your towel from this bar, and then when you're inside, you bring this curtain across here. That will seal the gap. There's Velcro on either side. That will seal the gap so none of this leaks. It'll also prevent your towel from getting wet when you're showering. There's even a vent in the bathroom. Push up, push a little red button. Now that'll exhaust out. When you're done, shut it off, pull down. That seals it so it doesn't leak. You have a light inside the shower that has holes built into it to allow condensation to drain out. There's a mirrored medicine cabinet as well with adjustable and removable shelves. There's a clothesline that pulls across, hooks in, and then you lock the side. Now you can hang your wet towel or bathing suit from it. There's a shade for the window. And then there's another shower curtain in the back that covers your toilet paper, and the window side prevents that from getting wet when you're showering. You have your hot and cold water supply, and the wand, which is removable and has a couple different spray patterns on board. This is a fiberglass pan, very heavy duty, drain on the bottom, and then a porcelain wide toilet with foot pedal. So you flush the toilet, the ball valve opens. When you're done, it seals. A little bit of water will sit on top about an inch. If you want to raise the level of the water inside the bowl before you use it, put your foot partially on the pedal. It will fill the bowl up to your desired height, and then you push down all the way to flush when you're done. I've used one of these trailers before. The shower is very practical. Keep in mind, it is a very small trailer. To have a fully usable shower and toilet is incredible, and it does work very, very well. And we've been using this same design for many years, and our customers are satisfied with it. This is a real residential pillow top mattress. Some other manufacturers do use a block of foam, which over time gets very uncomfortable. Airstream uses a real residential mattress. The bedding comes with this model. There's a hamper on either side of the bed. They're very deep. You can put pillows, blankets inside, clothes. There's 4 USB charge ports at the head of the bed. We have a light switch for the ceiling light. And then we have a switch here for each individual reading light. We have emergency exit window. You pull the 2 red handles up and release the window so you can climb out in emergency. And then you have a ventilation window with a knob here off to the side that allows you to open for venting. 2 tambour door cabinets in the rear. And you have the furnace control. Turn it on, turn your temperature up. Furnace will kick on, which is located underneath the bed. Once it reaches your desired temperature, it's going to shut off automatically and then come back on when it is necessary. When you shut the furnace off, it's going to run for approximately 2 minutes to cool itself down. You have a carbon monoxide detector in the bedroom. Please check those batteries every 6 months, as well as your smoke detector. The propane leak detector is hardwired to the battery, Therefore, there is no batteries inside to check. There's a mechanism here to release the television. Allows it to swing around. It's a Samsung brand name TV hooked right up to the DVD player in the front cabinet. You could also swing it around. So if you're sitting at the dinette, you could view the television. And then it's plugged into a regular outlet there on the wall. And here is the other side hamper. And then make sure you lock it back in properly before you tow the trailer away from the campground. There's a view of the front from the bedroom area. And then underneath the bed, there's access panels here to get to the rear trunk storage. So if it's pouring rain out and you need to get to something, you could get to it right from this access here. And you could also get to the battery converter charger from here. This charges the batteries, converts AC to DC, supplies your 12-volt items with power. There's fuses in there for 12-volt, and then there's breakers and a GFCI reset as well behind this panel here. The dinette folds down and makes into a bed for up to 2 people. The bolster cushion is snapped into the wall. It is removable. Take the little decor pillow out of the way. I'm going to tilt this bottom cushion up. It's velcroed in place so it doesn't slide out. I'll lock the window. I had that undone before. Unsnap this side. Remove the bolster cushion. Lift up this side. I'll show you. Underneath here gives you access to some of the main electrical, as well as the water pump and your 23-gallon freshwater tank. Low point drain for the tank and low point drain for the water pump, as well as a filter for the water pump. Okay, once you have the cushions up into that position, they're clear, we lift the table up and see how it slides into the little cleats there. Okay, we're going to lift the table up, and then I'm going to release the leg. And then the table swings down, lays on top of the 2 benches. These 2 cushions come down, and then we're just going to separate the backrest from the bolster on each side. And then you squeeze them together. That makes into a very large bed, about 7.5 foot wide, lengthwise. This is Patrick with Colonial Airstream in Lakewood, New Jersey. Our telephone number is 1-800-265-9019, and our website is www.colonialairstream.com. I hope to hear from you. Please like this video, comment, share, subscribe to our channel. I love it. I'll see you soon.